bit of a different video today. I'm just going to be going over a tip that's really important to remember when you're doing the revolution cut. So I'll assume that you kind of know how to do the revolution cut here, but essentially the tip is with your ring finger, it all happens with the motion on your ring finger. Instead of wrapping it around the outside of the card here, so instead of going all the way around to then grip that packet, you want to push up so that your ring finger goes up and under, like so. Okay, so if you know how to do a charlier, assuming you know how to do a charlier and a revolution cut, in the charlier, this index finger is pushing up like so, and you want to be doing the same thing with your ring finger, like that for the revolution. And you'll see what happens is that it creates this gap between the two packets, and that's where your ring finger goes in. So that your ring finger goes into that gap, and that's where I then grip it and can spin for the rest of the move. Bugs. So instead of wrapping around the outside like that, you want to push up and your ring finger goes under, and it gives this much cleaner spin that happens with the packet. Because something that happens if you're wrapping, watch how I do it. If, obviously I don't do it this way normally, but when I wrap my index around the outside, there's sort of this double motion happening, right? Like there's this setup and then there's the spin, right? So you're getting this setup and then a spin. Whereas if you just slide your ring finger up on the bottom, you don't really notice that setup. The setup is sort of hidden behind the packet. The setup being your ring finger moving into position is sort of hidden behind the packet, so it just looks a lot cleaner. It can also be where if you move your ring finger around the side, that these cards here these packets get sort of misaligned, and it can look less clean. But generally, if your ring finger moves up and under like that, these packets are more aligned along the top, and it just looks cleaner. I've just seen a lot of cardists can kind of get that wrong. Not that it's wrong to do the move that way, but if you get it down with your index moving in that way, moving upwards instead of wrapping around, just looks cleaner in my opinion. So if you do the revolution and you're struggling with it, go ahead and give that a shot.